2022, I completely wrecked my sleeping cycle. And this is because of this book, The 4 Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. And the reason I wrecked my sleeping cycle is that I was experimenting with the polyphasic sleep types. And now, so for example, there is a siesta. So the siesta is you have one nap per day. So 1 20-minute nap per day plus 6 hours of sleep. Then there is the Oberman two nap. So Oberman two nap is having has two naps per day, which are spaced out. The third one is that I experimented it was the Oberman three nap. Now this one has 3 20-minute nap spread throughout the day. And then the fourth one was every man four nap. So this one had four naps spaced out throughout the day. And now for me, the every man four nap now was where I stopped with experimenting. And the reason for this is that it made me feel like a zombie. So like it interfered with my body too much that I was feeling like a zombie. And also the other thing was that it was wrecking my life in a way that I couldn't go far from my house. So, and that is every 4 hours I had to be near the house so that I could take my nap. And now for me, found that so disturbing because now it was interfering with my life. Like I couldn't do something that would take more than 4 hours. And also the other thing was I never got to the Uberman. So the Uberman has 6 20-minute naps spread throughout the day. So you don't have like a period of sleep close together, but you have 20-minute nap just spaced out throughout the day. So there are six of them. And now for those ones they are 4 hours apart each. But I never got there because now for me the 4 hour like the Berman phone app was already wrecking my life. So I never got to the Uberman because I just felt that it would be too much for me. And now at the end of the day, I settled on the theater. So the theater is 1 6 hour lift, 1 6 hour session throughout the night, and then in the afternoon I take a 20-minute nap. So that is the siesta now. So instead of 8 hours together, I can say that I get back 1 hour, around 1 hour, 30 minutes of my time back instead of spending it sleeping. Now, welcome to the Lead Book Review series. And in this series, what I do is that every week, every Monday, I share one book. So this is one of the books that I've read and the main takeaways that I have from this particular one book. So that is what this series is about. And the reason for this series is that I would like to share the book that I've read so that you can also, if you find a book that is interesting for you, you can also go out and read it. So if this is your first time here, I am Samuel Kim, the founder and CEO of NK Elite. Now, NK Elite is an agency that focuses on two things. So the first one is fundraising, and then the second one is marketing. Now, back to the session. So this session has two parts. So the first part is I'm going to share the three takeaways that I have from the 4 Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. Then after that, I'm going to share a bonus before you leave. So I'm going to share a bonus before this session is over. Now we'll start with the three takeaways. So these are the three main takeaways that I have from this book because this book has so many takeaways from it. Like I have around 20 or 25 of them, but I'm not going to go through the 20 or 25 of them. I'm going to take the top three ones. And the first one is think big but start small. And now this is the main thing that is presented as the 20 pound recomposition goal. And the idea here is that if you have 100 pounds to lose, or if you have around 60 pounds to gain, don't start with the 100 pounds to lose. So don't start with the goal that, hey, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, or don't start with the idea that I'm going to gain 60 pounds. But instead, you reduce it to 20 pound goal. So instead of 100 pound loss goal, you take it to only 20 pound loss. So you are only aiming at 20 pounds, losing only aiming at losing 20 pounds. On the other hand, if you are looking gain to gain your weight, you should learn, instead of looking at the big 60 pound gain goal, you reduce it to 20 pound 20 pound gain load 20 pound gain goal. Now the reason for this is that when you reduce it that way, it's very easy for you to take action, and at the end of the day you'll be seeing a result very quickly. And now when you see results very quickly, it will give you the momentum that you need so that you can go all the way. So if you are looking to lose 100 pounds, it will give you that 20 minutes, will give you the momentum to go on to lose the extra 80 pounds. And now, if you are looking to gain, on the other hand, you are looking to gain 60 pounds, the 20 pound gain will give you the momentum to go on and gain the rest of the 40 pounds. So that is what thinking big but starting small is all about. So it's about aiming for that 20% body recomposition, which will end up giving you a change of 20% in your body appearance. And now with that now, it will be very easy for you to get to your big goals. But at the end of the day, you have started with a very small action. So that's what think big and start small is all about. The second one is about the 100 unit sliders. And now the idea here is that body fitness involves three levels. So body fitness involves three levels. So the first one is diet, second one is exercise, and then the third one is drugs. So those are the three ways that you can increase the fitness of your body. And the idea here is that you can there are three ways you can roll with it. So the first one is that you can pull one lever. And now by pulling one lever, this means that either you are going 100% diet, or you are going 100% exercise, or you are going 100% drugs. But now the problem with 100% exercise is that you, in case you miss any workout session, it will end up breaking up your fitness goals. On the other hand, when you're using drugs, so for me, I don't like drugs. And now, so 100% drugs, someone will be putting a lot of drugs in your body, and at the end of the day, you can end up interfering in the body. So that the other one is about the diet. And now, 100% diet, this means that even if you travel, you'll have to find a way to maintain your diet. Now, for me, I find that very difficult because when you're moving from place to place, they don't have they may not have the diet that you are on, and now that may end up breaking up your fitness goals. So that brings me to the second level. And now the second level is, this one is whereby you pull two levers. So instead of going 100%, you choose a percentage, and now you pick two of them. So for example, you can pick 60% 60% exercise, and then you have 40% diet, or you can choose 35%, you can choose 35% drugs, and then you have 65% exercise. So this one you can play around with the percentages. Now at the end of the day, this one is an easy way to get you to your body fitness goals, to get you the result that you are looking for, rather than just using the one lever. Or at the end of the day, you can decide to pull three levers. And now three levers now, this is whereby you do a combination of the three levers. So you do a combination of exercise, drugs, and diet. So for example, you can decide that we'll take 20% drugs. You can decide that 35% of it will be diet, and then 45%, the rest of the remaining 45% will be exercise. So you can play around with that one. And for me personally, because I don't like drugs, what I have taken is that I've only decided that I will only be pulling two levers so that I can get to my body fitness goals. And now for me the two levers are exercise and diet. So diet takes 55% and then exercise takes 45%. So that is how, so those are the two levers that I am pulling in relation to my body fitness goals. Now we are on to the third takeaway. So this is my third takeaway from the 4 Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. And now the that takeaway is about the Harajuku moment. And the idea here is that it is very difficult for us to take advice from other people. And the reason for this is that the reason it is very difficult for us to take action on the advice that other people give us is because of two reasons. So the first one is because we don't have enough reason for us to take action. So when you take advice from other people, like we feel that they don't understand our situation, like they don't understand our context. So the advice is good, but that will not work for me because you don't understand my context. Or the other issue is that you are not tracking. So this is when you are not tracking the action that you are taking. Now when you don't track, you end up losing losing momentum because now what you don't track end up slipping out of your mind, and now the moment it slips out of your mind, you end up losing you end up not taking any more action because you don't even know where you are reached, you don't know where you are at, you don't know where you are going, and you don't know how much you are left or how much you have gained so far. So that is the issue, is not tracking. And now the idea here with the Harajuku moment is that it handles the first reason. So the reason of having not reason to take action, being the reason that you are not taking action in your body fitness goals. And what happens with the Harajuku moment is that it turns are nice to have. So instead of saying it is nice for me to it's nice for me to experiment with the sleep cycle, you say I'm going to I'm going to experiment with the sleep cycle because of this and this. Instead of saying it's not for me to lose my pound pound to lose 40 pounds my body, say I must lose 40 pounds in my body. And that is what the Rajoku moment is about. So it is this epiphany that turns a nice to have into a must have. And now it is very crucial, especially when you're talking about the body goals. But now if we don't have a reason to take that action, we'll end up not taking action. And now the other thing about Rajuku moment is that apart from giving you a reason for you to take action so that you can get to your fitness goals, it also makes it easy for you to track. the way you are taking action. So it makes it easy for you to measure. Now, as you know, what you measure expounds exponentially. So when you add those two things together, when you have a reason that let's say that for example, earlier this year you said that this summer I must wear a bikini. So when you say that now, that is a reason so that reason will get you to take action. Now, when you take that action, it will be very easy for you to measure that action, so that when it get to summer of 2026, you'll be wearing a bikini. So those are the three. So that is how the Harajuku moment works. And so those are my three takeaways from the 4 Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. So the first one is think big, start small. Second one is the 100 unit slider. So this is whereby your body fitness is tied to the three levers. So first lever is diet, the second lever is drugs, and then that lever is exercise. And then the last takeaway is the Harajuku moment. By the Harajuku moment, which gives you a reason for you to take action so that you can realize your body goals. Now, in giving you a reason to take that action, it makes it very easy for you to measure. And now by measuring, it's very easy for you to achieve your body goals. Now, I'm going to share the bonus in a moment, but before I do that, I would like to tell you about next week. And next week, in the next session of the lead book review series, I'll be reviewing a very controversial book in the world of capitalism. And in this book, it is a book by Ayn Rand, and that is what I'll be sharing next week. And now, what makes that book controversial and my take on that on Ayn Rand book. Now, time for the bonus. Now, the bonus is that Tim recommends Tim recommends experimenting with things even in his book and also in your general life. So the idea is experiment with everything. So don't take anything at face value. So don't just go find information, or someone tells you something, or you read something in a book, and then or you listen to a podcast, and then you just take it as the truth. So Tim recommends you don't do that. So don't just take anything at face value, but experiment with everything that you come across. So experiment with the ideas that you get from a book. Experiment with the ideas that you get from a podcast. Experiment with the ideas that you get from a YouTube video. Experiment with the ideas that someone has given you advice to. And now, through experimenting, you will find out what worked for you and what doesn't work for you. And now, when you find what works for you, you will know that that is the truth for you personally. And now you can now integrate that into your life. In case you find that something doesn't work for you, you do always it. And the reason that Tim recommends this is that the knowledge that we have, 50% of it is wrong and 50% of it is right. But the problem is that we don't know which 50% is wrong. And now we end up acting on the 50% of information that is wrong. What ends up happening is that it ends up messing up everything, because now it is wrong information, and now so acting on it is just going to mess up, end up just going to end up with messed up results. So that is the reason that you should be experimenting with everything in in with every information that you get in your life. So that is what I'm going to leave you with. So even with the takeaways that I've shared, with the sleep cycle, with the thinking big and starting small, the 20-pound recomposition goal, with the three levers, experiment with them so that you find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So this is a book that I will recommend you go and get it because it has some very basics in terms of body recomposition. And apart from that basic, he also has these these crazy stories inside the book that just make you wonder what kind of life he is living. So what kind of life Tim is living. So the book that I'll recommend you to go and read. And in case you have read it, I would like to know what is your biggest takeaway from the 4 Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. So I would like to know that. Share it in the comments below. For now, bye bye. KPDM.